Today is the 15th of Av, Tu B'Av. People know that it's a day that's Mesugal for Shidduchim, which is what it's more well known for. The Gemara Masechet Ta'anit, the end of Masechet Ta'anit, Daf Lamed Amud Bet, going to Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph, discusses what else happened besides the fact that it was the day of Shidduchim, because it was the day that the Shvatim were able to marry each other, and the day that people would go out and find the Shidduchim. All right, it's also a day that the last reason that the Gemara brings down is the reason why it was a happy day is Rav Yosef Da'amri Tarvayu Yom Shepasku Melechot Eitzim L'Ma'aracha. It was the last day that they stopped cutting wood for the Mizbeach. We know that there was wood that was burning on the Mizbeach for the Korbanot, and they stopped cutting the wood on this day. And the reason is because from the 15th of Av and down, from 15th of Av and further after that time, the sun is not as strong, and therefore we're worried that maybe the wood needs to be completely dry on the Mizbeach. And if they're going to cut down wood, there might be some moisture inside, and therefore they're not going to use that wood anymore. So it was the day that it was the Yom Tavar Magal, the day that they stopped using the Magal, the saw, to cut down the wood. Mikan ve'elach de Mosif Yosif udulo Mosif Yasef. The Gemara is the one lashon is, and the other lashon over here is you'll be gathered in. So what does this mean? It says from now on, if a person is Mosif Yosif udulo Mosif Yasef. Fine. Ma Yasef Chas v'Shalom Tikvarei Mei. Fine. So from here we see that because they had more time on their hands, because now that they weren't being involved in the cutting of the wood, so they had more time on their hands. The Gemara says a person needs to be Mosif. What does it mean, Mosif? Right? So one pshat is what I just said, is that because they had more time on their hands, they have to be Mosif in the Torah learning, because they're not busy cutting wood in the Beit HaMikdash. And the second pshat that Rashi brings down, another the more common pshat, is that a person needs to be Mosif in his nights. Now that the nights are getting longer and the days are getting shorter, Shkiyah is getting earlier, Netz is getting later, we're having now longer nights and shorter days as it's going to get closer to the winter, and there's more opportunity to learn Torah in the evenings, right? And a person has to be Mosif, and that's the simcha that a person has, is that he has more time to learn Torah. In the times of Beit HaMikdash, because they didn't have to cut the wood, so they had more time, and in our time, it's because now the nights are longer, and we have more time to learn Torah in the evening. So it's very important to take advantage. The Rambam writes that a person that learns Torah in the evening is going to have a chut shel chesed b'yom. Right? It's also Gemara, I believe, but it's also brought down in the Rambam, and it's a very important, Rabbotai, to take advantage of the evenings. Baruch Hashem, also the day, obviously, but also take advantage of the evening, especially now that the nights are getting longer, and that's one of the pshatim of the simcha of Tu B'Av, that they didn't have to cut the wood. Why didn't they have to cut the wood? So now they have more time to learn Torah. That's what gives the person happiness, Rabbotai. This is real simcha. Real happiness is feeling accomplished, feeling fulfillment, and learning Hashem's Torah, Rabbotai. Let's take advantage, let's learn, and let's become closer to Hashem with the Holy Torah.